What's it really like to retire here in Roanoke?
I'm here to tell you all about it.
Hey there, I'm Chris Cohn.
Hi, I'm Don Knowles.
And I'm with Cohn Realty Group. If this is your first time to this channel, we encourage you to please subscribe and click the little bell icon so we can tell you all about living in the amazing Roanoke Valley. And if you or your friends are interested in moving here, we would love to have a conversation with you, answer any questions that you may have. You can call us, text us, or email. Well, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And as you might notice, this is not Hal Cohn, is it? This is
no
our
bow tie.
That's right. Yeah, where's your bow tie?
I forgot it today.
This is former client, now turned friend, Don Knowles. His wife, Cheryl, couldn't be here. And my husband, Hal, could not be here either. He's doing final walkthrough and working really hard for our clients. So we've invited Don over here to talk about real life experience and why Roanoke is such a great place to retire to, because you don't want to hear it from us. We're still working folks. So we wanted to hear from someone who's really retired and moved here specifically for that purpose. So Don, why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience moving to Roanoke and how you stumbled upon Roanoke and all that good stuff.
Okay, well, we were living in Phoenix at the time. We were in one of the active senior retirement communities down there, Del Webb community, and decided that we needed to get back east. Most of our family is either in upstate New York or Connecticut, and it was all a matter of the plane trips, both for us to come here or for them to come down there. And of course, those that have the kids, that was rather costly. So we were looking for a place on the East Coast and came upon Roanoke, and looked at some things on YouTube and actually ran across your videos on there. We watched those quite a bit, and then we said, let's give it a shot. We called them up, called you guys up, and actually did a video conference and discovered that really they're probably even friendlier in person than what they seem on the video. And they seem great on the video. So that proved to be the case. And so we got some further information from them. And basically, we moved here just a little over a year ago. And we've been through a lot in the year.
Yeah.
The housing market's a little bit crazy right now, as most of you are aware. We ended up spending the first 3 or 4 months in an apartment, which it's been several years since we had done that. We remembered what we didn't like about apartment living.
Right.
But thanks to Hal and Chris, we were able to find a beautiful house that fit our needs.
Yes.
And then, thank goodness, they had the knowledge of the market to be able to draw up the contract such that we were able to get it. So we kind of won the competition.
That's right. Y'all were in a multiple bid situation.
Yes, we were.
Multiple offers, which
and you guys set that up, and that was really what saved us. We got into place. Cheryl's got a bad knee, so we kind of required a single level living.
Right.
A little bit tricky to find that in Roanoke. Most places have a basement. This place does not, and it's on a single level, which is exactly what we were looking for. So we're very pleased that we were able to get in the house. And
yeah. So what stage are y'all in now? Because we're going to be talking about all the fun things or interests and activities that you can do when you retire here in Roanoke. What stage are y'all in? Are y'all out and about or settling in and just tiptoeing into the valley?
We're settling in. We are seeing a lot of places in the valley. Again, thanks to your videos, we've got a lot of specific places we go to. We've been up to Carvin's Cove. We actually got the Seasons Pass up there to park up there. There's beautiful hiking trails, nice, beautiful lake, picnic facilities. There's fishing available up there. Just turned out to be wonderful up there. And again, that was from one of the videos that we watched of yours. So,
okay.
But that's just a sample now. Our plan is this year to get out and do more of the day trips to see a lot of the different things that are out here. By the time we got into the house, had the contractors do what was necessary and so forth,
Right.
it was fall moving into the holiday season, and of course with family, the holiday season usually is rather busy. So now that we're kind of coming out of the winter, it's like, and the flowers are really starting to look beautiful around. It's like we're anxious to get out and do some more day trips.
Oh, that's great.
So, yes.
Well, and so maybe like you're considering a move to Roanoke, and it can seem a little daunting and overwhelming. But a lot of people they aren't sure exactly how to navigate the transition from selling their home, moving here, buying a home here. So we definitely want to help you through that. But let's dig into the really good stuff, and we're going to talk about what activities you can do as a retired person or family or couple here in the Roanoke Valley.
One of the things that we do on a regular basis is we're fairly close to the Green Ridge recreation facility.
Right.
It has a gym in it. It has a large walking track. It has a gymnasium in it for basketball, along with a swimming facility in there. And there are several other rooms and activities there to do. And so for a set fee, we're able to go in there, and I like to go up early in the morning and do my little workout, and it's the people that are there are absolutely fantastic. I've met so many of the people. They're also very friendly. Everybody's encouraging each other, and it's just a nice place to be. There are a lot of other retired and ex-military, or I should say veterans, that are there. So we have quite a bit to talk about.
So I love that. So this is a great place to build community. Stay active. Join the gym. We've got Green Ridge, you mentioned. There's YMCAs, there's Carillion Health Centers. And y'all, I have so many things that we had to write down because there's so much to do. So on this video, I'm going to be referencing my notes a lot. But there's a silver sneakers program at some of the gyms. And some other things are like, we talked about basketball, pickleball, tennis. Golfing is huge in this area. I know you play a little golf. I play a little golf.
And not very well.
But some of the courses include, we have multiple courses that you can choose from, but Ballyhag, Roanoke Country Club, Hidden Valley, Hanging Rock. One of my favorites is Great Oaks up in Floyd. The list goes on and on. So there's golf courses if you're interested in that. And if you want a little different kind of golf, there's disc golf. And there's a really great field at Greenfield and Botetourt, and also Mayflower Hills in Roanoke County. I haven't been there, but I want to try that out. And then baseball. You guys are going to have to check out the Red Sox game. That's going to be in Salem.
It's going to be tough. I'm a Yankees fan.
I see.
But I will. I enjoy baseball, so I'm sure we're going to do that. Yes.
Yeah, and then hockey, we have the Roanoke Rail Yard Dogs. That's going on right now, and that's a real fun sport.
And that's in a beautiful facility, by the way. We went in and visited that. We took the granddaughters down to the dinosaurs exhibit when it was there.
Yes.
And that was our first experience in there, and I was really pleasantly surprised by how much there was there. It's more than just a hockey arena there.
Yeah.
So,
that's a lot.
and there are activities going on there and events going on all the while, it seems like. So it's excellent.
Yes, and he's referring to Berglund Center.
Yes.
And so a few other things I had written down are like yoga. You have yoga inside facilities, private gyms, private areas. There's also yoga offered in various places outside, out and about town. And then goat yoga. I've never tried goat yoga. That's a new thing. If you're into that, you can find that here. There's a lot of swimming activities and water aerobics. So yeah, lots of sporting. If you're interested in sports, you can certainly find something here for sports. All right, well, you mentioned earlier it's spring, so let's shift to outdoor activities and things that you can do outside. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because we have videos on pretty much every single one of these topics. And this is what Roanoke is really known for, is the outdoor amenities, and people come here for the quality of life. Do you agree? From Arizona to here, it's a big difference.
Absolutely. This is, it's so nice to be able to walk along the greenways, for example, and go multiple miles. It's paved the whole way. You don't have to watch over your shoulder for a car. They're actually separated from the highways. So they're just wonderful. And the one we walk is only one of several that we've run across. So there are a lot of them that we've yet to try. And so we're still exploring those, but I really enjoy that along the Roanoke River. That's very nice.
I do too. And it changes seasonally. As you mentioned, it's all paved. You can pick sections that are nice and flat. Others may have a little undulation with our hills, and you can bike those, you can walk those. People are always out walking their dogs and things. Yeah.
Yes, and you run into like fishermen along the river.
That's true.
I watched one of the fishermen catch a nice trout the other day. It surprised me. I didn't realize they were in there. So
Well, speaking of fishing, there's lots of opportunities for you to fish, including Philpott Lake, Smith Mountain Lake, and we have a ton of ponds, lakes, and rivers you can choose from. And I remember fishing as a kid. We fished in the Roanoke River, and that was so much fun. But last time, since Hal's not here, I'm going to throw him under the bus. Last time we went fishing, I caught the fish, and Hal caught a turtle, and it was so funny. So y'all will have to tease him about that. Another thing a lot of our clients like to do is bird watching. So I've never really gotten into that, but I love that. If I could learn the calls and what to watch for, but you can do that in Jefferson National Forest and also George Washington Forest, along with all the trails, of course. I mean, you mentioned Carvin's Cove. You go up there, you can see birds up there.
Well, absolutely. Well, we look out the back window. We've got a pair of cardinals that live out back, and that beautiful red cardinal sitting on that white fence out back is just gorgeous. So yes, there are several even right near the house that we enjoy.
And there's bird clubs. There's also gardening clubs, of course. I think that's a great activity if you're interested in that. There's master naturalists and wildflower clubs. And then talking about being outdoors, hiking is really popular here. And what I love is that there's trails for everybody. You can do the Appalachian Trail. You can do sections of that. You can do a little spur of that, or you can do one of numerous trails that are tucked in. And I just found another trail that was new to me the other day. So there's trails all over the place, aren't there?
There are. I'm amazed at how many of those I run into.
Yeah.
Phoenix did not have as many. I suppose you could have gone out through the desert, but I'm not too big into that. So
good idea.
This, I would be much more likely to go out on some of these trails.
Yeah, and then the trails are also, some of them are shared by mountain bikers. So when you think about mountain biking, again, all levels here, but we are the East Coast mountain biking central mecca. So we've gotten that award, and that's fantastic. You can think of places like Carvin's Cove and also Explore Park. And again, there's just numerous trails. We have a video on that, so make sure you check that out. And boating. I mean, I just did kayaking last summer, and it was so fun. I did it at Carvin's Cove.
Oh, okay, that's a nice place to go. We talked about that. We're going to get up there this spring or summer, and we're going to do it up there also. Yeah, it is.
You can just rent kayaks, go around the reservoir, and then also if you're interested in something like sailing, we have a client that's thinking about relocating specifically so she can sail, and that's at Smith Mountain Lake. So it has the capacity for you to enjoy a really nice long sail, but lots of boating opportunities. So whatever you can think of to do outside, whether it's camping, hiking, biking, walking on greenways, it's going to be here too. All right, the next topic we're going to talk about is community fun, because you got to go out and have some fun, right? So I know my neighbor next door to me, he loves going to the senior centers, and he plays banjo, and they have a great time. And I know that they do some like line dancing, swing dancing. There's a lot of dancing around over here, but have you been to any of the senior centers?
Yes, we've been to the one down on Brambleton. We went in to see what was available there and what sorts of things we might enjoy. They had a multitude of things to do, from Tai Chi to the dancing. They have a biking center down in there. The gym isn't the same setup as what it is at Greenridge, with a lot of the weights and that sort of stuff, but it was unbelievable how
That's
much
nice.
a county can do for the senior citizens.
That's great. And programming, I like that a lot. Another thing is when I think senior center, I think of games.
Yes.
And I know some people have game nights and get together with friends like Bunko and play games like that. That would be fun.
Yes.
Another thing is neighborhood potlucks and progressive dinners. This was pretty new to me. And when we lived out in Roanoke County, our neighbor invited us to a progressive dinner. So you have a different course at a different house, and everybody lives in the same neighborhood. So you go to one house for appetizers and cocktails, and then the next house for soup and salad, and then the next house for the main dish, and then so forth and so forth.
Oh my goodness.
But it was so fun.
I hadn't heard about those yet. I've got to keep my eyes
I
open.
was gonna say, you should start one in your neighborhood. Yours is nice and compact.
Well, I think they do kind of a neighborhood one out in front of, there's kind of an area there that's kind of a little bit of a crossroads.
Perfect.
My understanding is that they do that, so we're kind of looking forward to that.
I think that's a great way to build community too, because
Yes.
how many of us just drive into our garage or parking or driveway and just park and go into the house and leave our worries behind and never really interact with our neighbors. But that's what it's all about. You've got to build community, get to know your neighbors, and you can help each other out.
Exactly.
Yeah, especially if you're new.
And retire.
Yeah, I'm retired.
It's always nice to know who has what skills to help you with what.
There you go. Another activity you can do is volunteering. It would be so great to help the community. Some places that we've volunteered before are Habitat for Humanity. The school systems I know could use help, as well as churches, local churches. However you want to volunteer would be great. Our family is looking into the SPCA, and we volunteered at the rescue mission, and they always need help serving food, packaging lunches, you name it. So those are just a few ideas.
Plus, being a veteran, I'm looking into volunteering at the Salem VA, which is a beautiful facility.
Oh yeah, it is.
It is. It really is.
Gorgeous.
It's a benefit to have that in the area. So
That's great.
yes.
I didn't know that. That's a great idea. And then let's talk about festivals and events. If you've heard any of our videos, you know that we always brag on Roanoke Valley because there's always something to do. There's a festival, there's some kind of event, there's something going on all the time. So if you're bored, that's your fault. Really, there's so many, but I'm going to just pull out a few. There's local colors. The Strawberry Festival in the spring is very popular. You guys have got to go to that.
Okay.
The Dogwood Parade in Vinton. There's also a Horse and Hound Wine Festival. There's the Highland Games in Salem, so wear your kilt and get some of your games and your strength on, and you can go to the Highland Games. There's the Wing Fest, there's Salem Fair, which is always fun in the summer, the Smith Mountain Lake Wine Festival, Folk Life Festival, and Ferrum, Dickens of a Christmas in December. And also the Drumstick Dash is really popular too. That's a walk run in November. It's associated with Thanksgiving, and it benefits local charities too. So there's always something to do.
Yes.
All right, well, let's now talk about cultural features. If you're looking to get out and about, explore some music, arts, culture, things like that. The first thing that we're going to talk about is live music. I love live music,
Yes.
and I understand you do too. You like a little bluegrass.
Oh, we had to drive, when we were in Phoenix, we had to drive quite a ways to find bluegrass, but here it's all over the place, and I'm just thrilled.
Oh, that's great. So there is a Crooked Road trail that you can take and explore. It explores Virginia's music heritage. So I'd encourage you to check that out. There's live music all the time at breweries, wineries. You can also check it out at the civic centers that we have, and Harvester Performance Center and Dr. Pepper Park. That's just to name a few. There's a ton of venues. And we just did a video on that, so check out our music video. In the way of art galleries, there's a lot of beautiful art galleries, and they really specialize in not only visual arts, but sculptural arts and mixed media, so you can check that out. They do studio strolls, paint nights, that's pretty popular. And I wonder how you would do a paint night. Do you think you would like that?
With a 4-inch paintbrush, probably not very well.
Let's shift over to museums. Lots of museums. As a matter of fact, we have one whole building that's dedicated to numerous museums. It's called Center in the Square in downtown Roanoke. And you've had some experience there,
Yes,
right?
we took our granddaughters down there to actually visit the Children's Museum.
Yes, Kids Square.
And it was something I didn't expect.
Right.
If I were a kid, I'd have wanted to go there too. And we do hear quite often that they'd like to go down there again. So I'm sure we'll be back there.
Yeah, Kids Square is really fun. It's a miniature town, so they get to be themselves. They get to drive to the grocery store, drive in their little cars. I like that.
And they're sponsored by the local businesses,
Right.
which is really nice because the kids get familiar with them and they have a lot of cool things to do at each place.
That's
So,
right. From a vet office all the way to the dentist to whatever. So they get to be big kids, and so they've got that there. They have a history museum. We have Taubman Museum of Art, which is just gorgeous. Not only the architecture on the outside, but everything featured on the inside, and the way the artwork is just phenomenal. In the Center in the Square too, we have the Pinball Museum. So if you're looking for something really unique, we had a great date night recently where we went to the Pinball Museum and just played all these old pinball machines. It was so
good
fun.
grief. I'll have to try that.
Yeah.
I love pinball. Yeah.
It was fun.
Yes.
And then the Transportation Museum is one of the highlights here in the Valley. You have to go check that out. And it's got planes, trains, automobiles, and the Owinston Link Museum is one of my favorites, and that's where the visitor center is too. But it's an old train depot, and you can just understand our train history and heritage. Performing arts and theater. I don't know if you're interested in any of this, but we do have Mill Mountain Theater. They do plays and productions. And also things like Opera Roanoke. We have a symphony. I mean, we are a cultured little town, aren't we?
I'm surprised. I really am. I didn't expect quite as much of the various things that we've seen here so far.
Gotcha.
And we've still only scratched the surface. We've got a lot more to explore.
There you go. And one of my favorite places is the Grandin Theater. It's a historic theater. And we just featured all of these things in a recent video as well. It's all about theater. Continuing education classes. When I think culture, I think learning, and I think continuing that growth and just, self-exploration. So there's a lot of universities and colleges here that you can partner with, and they offer continuing education courses if you're interested in that. All right, so our next topic is going to be exploring our region. So let's talk about that a little bit. One of the signature features of this region is the Blue Ridge Parkway. It's America's favorite scenic drive, and there's a lot of attractions along the way. You can check out Explore Park, and they have their own visitor center and gift shop, and it has gifts from local artists and crafters. So that's a really cool spot. Floyd is off of there, Peaks of Otter, all kinds of stuff. I know you've been to Peaks of Otter, haven't you?
Yes, we went for Mother's Day last year and took our granddaughters up there, and of course they loved the food, but then as we walked out, there was an older couple there. The lady was playing a fiddle and the gentleman was playing a guitar, and
Wow.
the granddaughters were they were enthralled with the whole thing.
Aww.
They were there and couldn't believe that. They were selling a CD, so we bought the CD. We actually have the
course.
CD of it, but it was some of the good music from many years
Oh,
ago.
that's
And it was really pretty awesome.
Very
So,
good.
yes,
You'll never know what you'll run into when you're out
Exactly.
exploring, right?
exactly. Yeah.
And then off the Blue Ridge Parkway as well as Mabry Mill. So that's a landmark you want to make sure you catch. And speaking of landmarks, let's talk about history. This area is full of history. So there's a lot. You could just spend weeks, I think, exploring what this area has to offer. But a few things coming to mind are like Booker T. Washington Monument, and also the steps of Lewis and Clark. Also the D-Day, National D-Day
Yes.
Memorial in Bedford. That's a huge attraction, a gorgeous facility, just absolutely gorgeous. We highly recommend you check that out. And then some day trips. You can go visit a lot of caverns in the area, like Luray Caverns is relatively close. There's also one in Natural Bridge. And then Covington Paint Bank. It's a curvy way to get there. But once you get there, it's a neat, quaint little town and some attractions there. And also Farmville, that's about a 2-hour drive to Farmville, and there's a lot of attractions there. So you can explore some day trips. What about antique shopping? Do you and Cheryl do any antique shopping?
Well, we're antiques and we shop, but I guess that doesn't fit the term properly. But we do enjoy getting out and looking at the various things. The problem I have with it now is a lot of the antiques that are in there I use. So
oh, that's okay. My genre of music that I listen to is now considered classic rock. I'm like, oh no. This is not classic. Black Dog Salvage, you may know them from the TV show Salvage Dogs. And then also Blue Moon Vintage Mercantile, beautiful store with lots of different things. Charlotte's Web, we've got a ton of antique stores and shops you can check out. And state parks, we have so many state parks. It's beautiful. You could hook up your RV and go to a state park, really enjoy being outside in nature. There's many to choose from. And then you had told me earlier, y'all were thinking about maybe renting a cabin.
Exactly. Several of the state parks have cabins available there. We're beyond the tent stage at this point in our lives, so the cabins really work out well though.
Yeah, and they have some rustic ones and some of the more original cabins, but they also have a lot of newer cabins too. So every state park has something a little different, including things like yurts, so you'll want to check that out. All right, let's get to Hal's very favorite subject, and this is, as you guessed it, food and drink, right? So he's gonna be mad that he missed this one. But we have lots of options to choose from. The first one I really wanna focus on because we love buying and supporting local is farmers markets. So I know you enjoy farmers markets.
Oh, absolutely. We've been to several of them in the area. We try different meats, different bacons, different vegetables. And so we become friendly with some of the farmers.
Aww.
And we've kind of got our set places now we like to go. Of course, they're all at different farmers markets.
Oh, that's neat.
But it gives us an opportunity, and every time we try something new.
That's great.
It's just unbelievable the amount of quality meat there is here in the area.
Yeah.
That was kind of missing in Phoenix a little bit.
Yeah.
So here, and there are a couple of farmers markets that have fresh seafood, and it is very good and very fresh.
That's great.
The one company brings it from the coast on Wednesday, and they're selling it on Thursdays and Fridays.
Wow.
And that was some of the best shrimp I've had. And we lived in Wilmington, North Carolina for a couple of years. So,
wow.
yes.
Yeah, that says a lot. And then, you can get honey, you can get
definitely.
crafts and pottery. I mean, I saw you at the Grandin
all sorts of
farmers
baked
market.
goods.
Oh, that's right. Baked goods.
Oh, definitely.
Plants, vegetables. Even they have live music in some of them. So that kind of sets a good tone.
It is. It's really nice.
I love that.
Yes.
So country stores too, if you can't make it out to the farmer's market, you can always check into some of those country stores. My personal favorite is Eikenberry's Country Store, and we have a little gift basket that we put together for clients from there too. And also there's Mike's Country Store. There's a bunch of country stores tucked in, and you can get jams, jellies, country ham, fresh eggs, yum, all kinds of stuff. So lots of country stores. Restaurants, I feel like you could get just about every genre of food that you want here in Roanoke. We have a whole video just on our top favorite if you wanted to learn how to eat like a local, so check out that video. But we could spend like 4 or 5 episodes just on restaurants here.
Yes.
So I don't want to say bore you with details, but I'm not gonna harp on that, but I am gonna talk about desserts. So do you have a favorite place that you go for dessert?
I do, but I've been banned from it by my wife. So we love Blue Cow, which is an ice cream place. It's near the river, downtown Roanoke, and it has some of the most phenomenal sea salt caramel ice cream, and also the blueberry goat cheese. They're both phenomenal. And like I say, I believe I overindulged, so I've been banned, much to the chagrin of my granddaughters who love the place, and they kind of miss going there. So
yeah, and the combinations sound a little strange, blueberry goat cheese, but it really works.
It's
so
delicious.
well together.
It really does.
Yeah.
I've had some goat cheese before where I thought, nah, believe me, that ice cream, that's That's delicious.
That's great. And there's also Chris's Coffee and Custard where we are today.
Yes.
They make their custard from scratch and you can tell the difference. It is so delicious. They have chocolate and vanilla. It's so thick and rich and it's really wonderful. There's also Homestead Creamery, Hollywood's, and then the pie shop in Fincastle. There's also On the Rise Bakery. So lots of baked goods and dessert options. Now let's hop over to the drink side of things. We've got a lot of wineries and distilleries as well as breweries in the area. So you're not gonna lack for that if you're into that. In the way of wineries and distilleries, we've got Amrines Winery and Chateau Morissette is a great day trip if you're interested in that. Valhalla, and that's up on the mountain, and you can just see everything. And sometimes they have most of the times they have a lot of events, live events and music. Virginia Mountain Vineyards, Peaks of Otters, there's so many more, but just wanted to touch on those. And in Franklin County, that is coined Moonshine Capital of the World. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Yes, I actually watched. Once I found that out, there was a movie on Netflix just about that. It was some brothers that were there in Franklin County. I found that extremely interesting.
So you can sample a little moonshine from Franklin County. And in the way of breweries, there's a Cheers Trail you can go on and enjoy. But there's also a lot of breweries sprinkled in just about every municipality. The ones that come to mind are Parkway Brewing, Big Lick Brewing, downtown. They have fireplaces. You can bring your dog, beautiful mural, great atmosphere and ambiance. Twisted Track, Star Hill, Old Salem, and Three Notched. So again, that's just a few. So lots of food and beverage options, right?
Yes, it's almost difficult to pick one sometimes. There's so many different options out there. So
I know, Hal's gonna really miss this.
Partly one of the things I'd like to say to you folks is that Hal and Chris are excellent realtors. They helped all the way from the video conference when we hadn't even stepped foot in Roanoke, through the point of helping us get the offer in a very competitive market. And our offer was accepted on the house that we wanted. They knew enough of the market to be able to do that for us, which was above and beyond. They helped us get the mortgage company. They helped us with contractors, the names of those to make the small changes that we wanted to make. And all around, anything we've needed, they've been there to assist us. And it was excellent when we were looking for houses because we were looking constantly through listings. We'd see something and call, and if Hal wasn't available, Chris was. If Chris wasn't available, Hal was. We never had an issue not getting to a house or missing a house because we never got to see it. So we truly want to thank you very much for all that you've done for us. They always say that the house purchase, is the biggest thing you ever do in your life. I was a little bit on edge after living in an apartment for much longer than what I cared to be.
Yes, he was.
But realistically, if it hadn't been for these two, I don't know yet if we would have a place here. So I really want to thank you. And like I say, all the help that you've provided has just been phenomenal. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for saying that. That means a lot. We are so appreciative of you sharing your expertise and wisdom and your plan for what this year may hold, getting out there and getting involved. But I'm just so glad you're part of the community, and we want to thank you too, because that's why we do what we do, and that's the fun part, is getting to meet great folks like you and helping them get into the Roanoke Valley. So thank you very much. How about we go get some lunch?
That sounds good.
All right.